Justin here, just going to run you through your neurological max strength phase, or the first 3 weeks of your training for this phase, and then we'll do a 3 week update. So for your 5 day program, you've got a quad day, a chest day, day off or active recovery, walking at 120 beats per minute for the heart rate. Then you've got a hamstring day, back and tricep. And then if 4 days is enough in your gym, that's a pretty good setup. Then you've got your shoulder press, your shoulders and arm day, sorry. So if you're someone who likes to spend a little bit of extra time on the arms, add that day in. If you're someone who misses the metabolic work, we've got a systemic metabolic day. So that'll be sort of a heavier day, but that'll get you that systemic or full body response that you might be missing if you love your HIIT training. So for the first 3 weeks, your B series exercise across here, you got your hack squat, your hammer strength chest press, your rack pulls, your step back row, your shoulder press. They're going to be 6 sets of 6. So with the neuro strength phase, that's the top end before we get into this sort of hypertrophy stuff. It's kind of neuro strength with a little bit of hypertrophy. But for the neurological adaptation, with that slight bit of fatigue and those extra reps, you can trick the body into adding more motor units under fatigue as those other ones struggle, especially for newer trainees under load. It's a good place to start because you'll trick the body. Oh, these are firing, so next time I'm going to add more motor units as we go. So you'll notice the exercises too. A lot of them are stable. So with the quad day, we've got a banded hack squat. So with the regular hack squat, it's quite loaded at the bottom position, and then as you get through, it gets easier as you move through that bottom part. So we've added the band to flatten off. You want a resistance profile when we're doing these higher reps that is hard. So I've picked the exercises that you won't fatigue at the bottom, but the band tension or the resistance profile of the machine should get quite hard. So on the chest day, you've got chest press with the plate loaded, ideally the hammer strength one, because if you they're quite from a muscle perspective, they're designed poorly, so that they'll get real heavy at the top. So they're kind of made for more an athletic purpose of accelerating into it. So they work well with this program. For hypertrophy and stuff, you don't get a lot at the bottom. But so for that chest press, it's going to be something that you're not going to fatigue out to here, but it's going to get real heavy here. So we're going to pause, take all the passive tension out at the bottom. So you'll notice the tempos in this setup are controlled, or there's a pause. So what the pause does is take the stretch reflex out of the rep, and then you have to initiate the movement with a lot more muscle or motor unit recruitment. And then we're going to accelerate hard and contract hard and try and there'll be an X in the tempo, so that's explode. So we're going to explode hard into that and recruit more fibers that way. So you're just tricking the body to switching on the maximum amount of motor recruitment you can. Then you'll notice the pairing of the exercises in the superset. The superset will be paired at opposite ends of the resistance profile. So you got your front heel elevated split squat, followed by your leg extension with the band. So they're two opposite end ranges. So you've got a lengthened and a shortened position exercise. And then your leg press is very dominant in the mid-range of the reps. So you're covering the stretch position, the mid-range, and the fully contracted position with intensity of contractions. So that's set up throughout. We'll go through each day individually. I'll do it from my phone so you can see, and we can talk over contraction and execution tips for each setup of each exercise. But that's going to be your first 3 weeks of this phase, guys. And then we're really just going to change the B exercise, and that's going to be something more unstable, heavy in the stretch position. So that'll be a squat or a hack squat or a dumbbell press, in that lengthened loaded position, accelerating out. But we're just going to build control with the 6 sets of 6, get used to those contractions, and then we'll move on to a little bit more challenge in the squats say are unstable. Not to get that confused with standing on a BOSU, but just a regular squat is more unstable than a hack squat. And then also, guys, if you guys are starting late in this phase because of COVID, you might be still locked down halfway through this. You could do like 1 week, especially if you've been doing a lot of programming with me before, you could just do 1 week of the 6x6 and then just jump straight into the 8 sets of 3 with the more loaded lengthened position. Or you can come in 2 weeks and then do 3 weeks of that. If you're coming in 3 weeks late, just do 1 week and then 2 weeks of the 8x3s. But any questions, post in the group. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, and happy training, guys.